We are live both on Instagram and YouTube. This is Benching and Bullshitting number 24. This is the Cold Strong Power Podcast 66, our 66th episode total of doing this, and I'm really happy to be here. So go live. Like I said, I go live on two different platforms at once on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Talk benching and bullshitting. Stone Cold Insurance, man, what's going on? How we doing? So, like I said, what I just come on here to do is go back on here and just talk about the week, talk about upcoming events, and just bullshit and talk bench press. Jerry Cool, you plan on going back to the original podcast interviews, etc.? Yes, I think so.
We've just been traveling so much. We haven't.
Yeah.
We don't want to make the jump to schedule people because we have things coming up. Like last week, we knew we were going to Dallas like 5 days before we left. We do want to start that back up beginning of the year.
Yeah.
It's just not for December. We've been very busy.
Too busy. We're actually, we have events scheduled all the way up until April already.
Mm-hmm.
Like
at least 2 a month.
Yeah, the New Year's not even here. We're already booked, so that's fun for us. Anyway, so let's get this thing going. Talking about the week. So we came back from Dallas, Texas, Tuesday night. Now we left the hotel at 8 a.m, and first back up because like the last episode, it was the night before.
Yeah. The photo shoot when we had Amber on here. So then,
okay then. So
that's kind of where we left off. So then Monday we had like the whole day with Anderson, which was really cool.
So we had a whole day of Anderson shooting with their marketing team. So we were out at Anderson Powerlifting HQ, we'll call it, at about 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we were with the marketing team until about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, just doing shoots. We were at Anderson Powerlifting. Then we went to a CrossFit gym. Well, they had weights and bars. So that's all that mattered.
It was cool. Like they had a lot of stuff. They were super nice.
Yeah, the guy who runs it was as a former Marine, and of course, I think Kevin let it slip that I was too. And he's like, "Oh, I was like, oh God, no, you're cool, man, but I don't do that shit."
It was cool though, yeah.
And then we went from the gym to a park down the road from Kevin's house. We left the gym, went to Kevin's house, went from Kevin's house to a park, and then we did a photo shoot outside. And we're telling those guys it was their idea, and we told them like, "Hey, like." Powerlifting is done almost exclusively indoors. You know that? Like
it didn't make sense to us. But I think how they had it set up, because it was like against like a brick wall. It was over by the baseball stadium. I feel like it really worked out. And the photos turned out really cool. Even though it was hot and sunny.
Yeah. We were in the shade, so that was at least a plus. So
it was cool.
Anyway, but so we did that. We went out to eat. Then we went to a Texas Christmas themed light show with Kevin, me, Amber, Katie, and then Kevin's daughter Sarah.
Yeah.
All went to a light show. That was pretty cool. Then we hopped on a plane. We left the hotel at 8 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. We didn't pull into our parking lot until 11:30 at night.
Here at home.
Jesus Christ.
4 airports.
4 airports. 2 cancellations. Every flight was delayed. Every flight had maintenance issues that delayed the flight. Weather, the planes couldn't land. It was absolutely fucking atrocious. So again, we left the hotel at 8 to catch our first plane by about 10 or 10:30, and we didn't get to our parking lot till 11:30 at night.
Yeah. But we made it. I think it was worth it. Like the whole trip was so cool. We got to do and see a lot of stuff. So that was really cool.
Question here says, "Hey man, being a bench guy, what made you choose deadlifting for the disco? Because not everybody likes bench as much as I do. And we've hosted fundraising events that are like bench only or push pull.
Yeah, last year we did push pull, right?
Yeah, I think something like that.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to do something different that like more people might be interested in. Doing a deadlift disco, allowing straps because it's non-sanctioned. It's a charity event, so who fucking cares?
And like deadlift is the easiest because you don't need like a ton of spotters and loaders.
Yeah. We already have almost 20 people signed up for it, which is really cool. Really happy with that.
It gave me an excuse to buy a fully automated, full-size disco ball for the office.
Hanging up right over here. That's why. And deadlift disco too, D&D, I don't know.
It's cool, it's fun.
So that's why. We always host bench events or bench-oriented events, so we wanted to do something different.
Because we had like AMRAP April, which we'll have again this year coming up, which was like an online do-it-yourself kind of thing. Super excited for that one. Maybe, I don't know if we'll have a squat off or something like that.
Yeah,
as a
probably not.
fundraiser.
Probably not.
You want to squat?
Nope. And that leads me to the next question saying, when's the last time you worked out to the squat or deadlift? Squat, probably 6 months ago.
Technically, you did 7 squats today when you were setting up your elbow traction thing.
Well, Zercher squats. It was I was doing
it was accidental, but
I was doing elbow distraction. I had a bar in my elbows, like a Zercher. And I was holding a bar in front of me, relaxing, letting the bar distract my elbows, and I had to Zercher squat the bar up off the rack. So
I would say your depth was there, so that was
yeah. But deadlift I do every once in a while, like block pulls or from the floor, every few weeks. So it's not actually that like not that sparse. But
yeah, because it's like what do you say? Deadlifting is for bench, or what? How do you say it?
I say that deadlift is a bench accessory.
It's a bench accessory, yeah. I have that as a sticker. I just forgot, I guess.
And then we have another one here. Same cat with Nick. Can't pronounce the last part though.
Massengale?
I was using
it's not that hard.
What's the typical entry cost for a decent band shirt compared to a poly shirt? So a decent poly is going to be like a Katana or an F6. You're looking at between $100 and $200 for a single ply. And then let's see, you've got entry level cost. I think the Inzer is like $250 or $300. You could buy a single ply F8 from Anderson Powerlifting for like $200. 2-ply might run you
like it goes up by like $100.
$300 or $400. I forget what it is,
like
but
$3, maybe like $299 and $399 and $499,
something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
I don't remember,
I
but
could probably look it up.
You're gonna spend a few $100 on a good poly or a good band shirt.
Let me look it up real quick.
And we got a question over here on YouTube from Mini Kool-Aid asks 900 close grip soon. I did the 865 close grip bench on Wednesday. I won't come back to close grip again for a while. So maybe the next time I think I need to actually do like reps. So I did 800 pounds first for a pretty easy single. I should probably pick a workout for close grip and just do like triples, like do reps with close grip like that heavy. But so 900 pounds, yeah. I've reverse grip 900 for a triple, so I think close grip that's my weakest. My close grip is my weakest grip, even in equipment. So maybe the next time I try it, I might go for 900. Let's see, catch up here. Angus 2000 on Instagram says, "Hey Jimmy, got any tips on breaking in a new F8 Widowmaker? Just start using it. That's the easiest thing. They're made of wraps. There's no real you don't have to break it in like a brand new polyester shirt, breaking in the fibers, like loosening up the fibers in the material. Just start using it. If it's a 2-loop Widowmaker, use the outer loop by itself and just do a bunch of reps, do some light reps, and then throw that double on. It won't take long. It will not take long to break it in. So I suggest just start using it. Even with lightweight, I've got some knots in my left or my right pec right now that really fucking hurt. So for bench this weekend, which I'll get to in a minute, I started putting a Widowmaker on even for like one plate because I had to protect those knots so I can get rid of those. So use it with lightweight and heavyweight. Just get a lot of reps in it. About a workout or two, you should have it pretty much broken in.
So going back to the F8, so a 2-ply is going to be $395.
So $400.
A 3-ply is going to be $495.
$500.
But then if you use Cold Strong, you save 10% with Anderson Powerlifting.
Cold Strong right there. I have a discount code Cold Strong. You can use that at AndersonPowerlifting.com. Get 10% off.
Yep.
Yes. Paul Stein, what's up? Do you think it would be worth buying a multiply katana to preserve single ply shirt for meets? If you already have, yes. Whether it's used or brand new. Because every katana has pretty much the same stroke, whether it be single ply, double ply, open back, closed back, triple ply, grid stitch, no grid stitch. All katanas have a very similar stroke, but a different feel. A triple ply katana feels different than a single ply katana on your body. But
Would you get the same size?
No. If you go up in layers, you got to go up one size. So if I wear right now, I'd probably wear a 50 single ply with a downsized chest. I would get like a 52 double or a 54 triple, which I
with a downsized chest.
not for multiply. For multiply, I would leave the chest alone. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. It's like it's apples to apples with katanas. So having ones that are multiply on hand, like do like heavier board work and not stretch out your single plies as much. Very good idea. And over on YouTube, Justin Bonilla. Hey bud, your episode on Table Talk with Dave Tate. When is that coming out? Yes, I'm going on the Table Talk podcast with Dave Tate on January 16th.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Monday, I believe. I picked that date on purpose. He gave me two options, like, the 16th or the 18th. And for training's sake, I chose the Monday because I can probably bench really heavy that weekend, drive the
like Sunday or something. Yeah.
Drive the
oh my God, Jen.
Drive the
You're such a drama queen.
9 or 10 hours to get to Dayton, hang out with Amber, sleep at her place, and then do the table talk the next day, and then drive 10 hours back, and not really miss a lot of training with bench by doing it that way.
But I don't know if it's going to be recorded live or if it's going to be pre-recorded, and then because he does like some of both, like some of them they're live and some he pre-records and then releases later, like on a schedule.
He'd probably just pre-record mine. I can't imagine.
So, yeah, we'll see because we know when you're recording it. Yeah. We just don't know if it's coming out that day or what. Yep. So, but yeah, January 16th.
We got a good question here. Let's see. I know you love lifting heavy all the time. Yes, I do. Is lifting very heavy weekly is bad for your CNS? Does your body ever get too fatigued from benching under such heavy loads? Yeah. So it's good. I do it because that's how my physiology, how my particular body is like responds to. I wouldn't recommend that for everybody. Yeah. And I've burnt people out before when I've tried to coach them, and I feel really bad because I just train them how I lift. But working with some of my current athletes like Pat Porter, Paul Wallace, Chris Jividen was another one. Just for a few examples, I can really like work with them week to week and keep in contact with them and say like, hey, we went really heavy. Do you want to deload? Do you want to take a little bit easier? Because most people need that kind of that wave, like heavy and light and heavy and light. So I've done that before. I'm like, I'll just train them how I train because it works for me. Not thinking not everybody can do that. So for me, it's fine. My CNS does get taxed, but it takes something really fucking crazy to do it. So I'm
and I feel like that's been like a key for why or how you've excuse me been able to like expand as much as you have. Like you go up like 100 pounds a year.
Not recently.
Almost consistent. I mean, well, yeah, because going from 13 to 14 is a lot heavier than going from 6 to 7.
Yeah.
But I mean, when we first met, you were like just benching around 7.
Mm-hmm.
You benched 7, and then the next year you benched 8, and then you benched 9, and then you were knocking on the door to 1,000. You were in between like 950 and $1,000. Tried it a couple times, and then things got weird. You retired, came back. And within a year of training, you were already handling $1,000 again. And then it was $1,000. And then a year later, 1120.
Yep.
And then 4 months later.
That was a gear change.
Yeah. I mean, because it was like a huge jump from poly to band shirts. But then it was like 12, 13. And now a year later, you're knocking on the door at 14. Mm-hmm. But so I feel like your CNS might be rare. Compared to how fast you can recover. But when your CNX is taxed, you do that fish out of water seizure thing.
Yeah.
It scares the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
And we always forget because it happens so rarely now because you're like anything under 1450 isn't going to make you do that.
Yeah.
Unless it's like super heavy, high reps or something. You haven't done it when's the last time that's happened?
Oh, it's been a while.
It didn't happen. Did it happen with 1450 at Rob's?
I thought it did. I can't remember. I think it did.
I'll have to go back and look at videos and stuff. But like, we forget to tell people like, hey, this thing might happen. Because I remember the first time Jenna ever saw it, she was like started crying and she was like, do I call 911? And I was like, no, he's fine. He does this all the time.
It's normal.
But it is scary.
Lack Green says, thoughts on the insert bolt for single ply? In my opinion, dog shit shirt, don't buy it. I've seen them blow out down the chest left and right. Don't bother.
Question. That just made me think of something. Is there a shirt that has an actual seam down the middle of it?
Just the band shirts do.
Yeah.
There's no poly out there
that has that.
The metal. No, the metal shirts have like those collar looking things going across, but there's no shirt with like a seam down the middle. Yeah.
I was just wondering, like, because Inzer shirts are kind of known for blowing out, right? Like when someone says like, "Oh, this dude's shirt blew at a meet," people are like, "Was it an Inzer?" Like they're not shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think having a seam down the middle
would be worse?
It wouldn't reinforce it at all?
No, it'd be worse.
Because it would like.
That's a weak point.
Come apart.
Yeah.
Do you think if they like grid stitched an Inzer, it would help?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Paul Loffer says, I'm doing an IPA meet in Bristol, Virginia on April 29th. I think we're going to that one. Bristol, Virginia. Yeah, I think.
I have a note. Matt Brooks is running it, I think.
Yeah, Matt Brooks. That's Matt Brooks' meet.
Wall.
I think our girl Taylor is going to do that one. And ipso facto means we'll be there. Yeah. So we might be there. I also found out the new Colossus bench shirt is illegal in the IPA because of the sleeves. So I'm switching to an F8. Yes, the Colossus, the orange dark side. Oh. A lot of the newer dark side shirts are illegal by the IPA as well as the Womack shirts because of it's the design. They're not
because it has like the loop and the no shoulder.
Well, he's got like a stacked sleeve and it still has to. So the argument was, it still has to encompass and look like a shirt, and some of these contraptions were getting away from that, so that's why they kinked them. So
yeah, so it has to have the cylindrical sleeve, shoulder coverage, and it has to be able to close in the back. Yeah.
Martinez, Rodney says, hi, Jimmy. Just wanted to say thank you for all the tips with my technique. My meet went awesome. I'm very glad to hear that.
That's cool.
Very cool, man. Catching up. Sorry. Okay. Massengale. He said that, or pronunciation was perfect.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, cool.
Tips for raw to multiply lifter without a consistent crew. That's going to be a difficult one.
Going from raw to multiply.
Without a consistent crew. That's tough. I'm not going to lie to you. That's just tough.
It is doable.
It's doable. You're going to have to get creative. I know there's a lot of people that can do it. William Lee, I think he just hopped on here not too long ago. He does it quite a bit.
One of our really good friends, Erin Norris, she trains equipped in her garage by herself, puts her own suits and bench shirts and all sorts of shit on by herself.
So you just have to get creative. With squats.
So even I would say if you don't have a consistent crew, could you find at least one consistent workout partner and someone who, just from our experience, there's been a lot of times where we didn't have a crew, but he had me.
What's up, Matt?
And I could put a shirt on and I was not shy about walking around a gym and being like, hey, can you help us hand out? Hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that? Yeah. Running them through how to do a 3-man, like strangers, like strange men that have never spoken to us before. And I'm like, this is what we need to do. And that got through quite a bit of your training coming back into a grand until we finally found our crew that we have now.
Yep.
So if you can find one person.
And Matt Brooks is saying, I feel like it's possible to lift equipped alone, but I don't think it would be possible if you never trained with a crew. Yeah. Ultimately, it's really hard. You know, I've always been, I hate using this word, but blessed with a very.
Why do you hate using that word?
Because it sounds religious.
You've been lucky, bro. We've had great.
I don't believe in luck. I've had luck. I've been very, it's just
fortunate. But you also went out and you sought that out. You said, this is something I need.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we drive 45 minutes to our gym right now.
Yeah.
We've driven an hour before.
Yeah.
Like we were driving from Newcomerstown to Canton. That's like, what, an hour and a half?
Yes, hour and a half.
There, an hour and a half back every day for a year.
So on that note, I will say, if you want something bad enough, you'll find a way.
Yeah. That's
been my attitude, my entire life. And I'll just give a very, 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 very short example, although it's probably not going to come out short. What probably the most stressful time of our lives together was when I was working at Belden Brick. She was working at a tax firm, a tax firm.
That's when I was doing taxes and Denny's and going to school full time.
Well, this was the hotel. This is the Parkside apartment hotel.
Oh yeah.
So she was working at a hotel full time and at a tax firm full time, and I was working at Bell and Brick full time with one vehicle. Okay, this is how we made it work. So I would
opposite ends of the county for all of them.
This is how I made it work. So I would get up at 4 a.m, go out and start the car. We would leave the house by 4:30. I'd get her up, put her in the car. She would sleep. She would sleep on the way to Belden, about a half-hour drive, give or take. She'd drop me off. She would drive back home, sleep. Then she would get ready, be at the tax firm by 9-ish, which is in the same town. So Sugar Creek's about a half-hour drive. And then
you up.
And then you would work until 2 or 3. I'd be done at 2. I'd either walk there or you'd pick me up during lunch. I'd stay in the car, whatever. We would drive home by 3:30, 4 o'clock. She would get ready for her second job, which is in another town, 45 minutes down the highway. We'd both drive. I would drop her off in Newcomers Town, 45 minutes down the highway. I would turn around, go to the gym in Canton. So from Newcomers Town to Canton's about an hour and 15 minutes. Work out, come back home, eat, sleep, rest, whatever. She'd get off at 11 o'clock. She'd be out of there by 11:30 with hotel things.
Home by 12:30.
12. Go to sleep. Wake up back up at 4 o'clock.
In bed by 1. Yeah,
so
that was rough. We did that for a year, probably.
About a year. It came out very long, but that's the shortest I could make it.
Yeah.
If you want something, and that's not like a crew situation, but like that was a very rough time where I had to get it in. That's what we had to do. Mm-hmm. We had one vehicle and 3 jobs between us, and the jobs were very far apart and different schedules. So you can do it then.
My other, I guess, like another piece of advice for that, like I said, if you could find at least one person, preferably somebody who already knows equipped lifting. Because there's so much more to just like, oh, I need someone to help me put my shirt on and hand out. You also need somebody that can say, hey, you're doing this wrong. Like you're sitting back wrong. You're not using the gear the way you need to. Yeah. But as far as consistency goes, maybe look around and see if there are other gyms in your area that you could drive to on the weekend.
He's saying, and Pat Porter, all about sacrifice. I've lived that life as well. And he's saying right here, Nick is saying, find a crew, but the closest one is 4 hours away in Columbus. It sounds like he's in Ohio then. So
there's like Columbus, Georgia.
Oh, I mean. Yeah.
Where are you at exactly? Because also like there might be gyms and smaller crews that you don't know about. So if we can help find someone close to you, like we're totally willing to do that.
And as he's going to think about that, over on YouTube, Mini Kool-Aid says, does Inder just use cheaper material or something? What makes them blow out so easily? So again, an opinionated answer, but I think their material is cheap. I think their construction is cheap. The quality is just not there. I think Idzer from 20 years ago was good. But in my opinion, though, you need to stay the fuck away from them. Don't give them your money.
So I asked about grid stitch, and Pat Porter said his SDB blew out in May, and it was grid stitched.
So that didn't help at all.
I don't know.
Okay, so Nick's saying Knoxville, Tennessee is where he lives right now.
Okay. How far is that from Matt Brooks?
Matt Brooks is in Kentucky, I thought. So I don't know. Here's my suggestion is, and I've had to do, and when I went to Blackstone's in Ohio, there was already an established crew. Mm-hmm. When I left there after a few years, went to Iron Chamber in Canton, Ohio, which is part of that story I was talking about, Canton, there was already an established crew. When I got into the military and came down to Virginia, I came to this new gym, Unleashed Strength, in Manassas Park, and there was no crew. So I had to build a crew. So I just started finding like-minded people, those who were strong, those who worked hard, those who were consistent, made friends. I mean, you might just have to look around at what you have and start building a crew. I've had to do that for the first time ever because I'm not at these other gyms at Blackstone's, Iron Gym, I had people above me in terms of like strength or
like longevity in the sport. Like
yeah.
we've always been like the youngest ones.
Yeah, we were always the babies in these
yeah.
groups. Now I'm the oldest one in my group at 32 years old,
which feels wild.
Yeah, so we've had to build, a crew over these last 3 years. At first it was like 2 guys. I had 2 guys that I had met at a different gym in the area, and all 3 of us came to this new place. Started lifting together. People noticed what we were doing. People were, seeing what we were doing, and started kind of migrating our way slowly over time. And we just started making friends and making a crew. It just happened over time. It's just one of those things. So,
and a lot of our crew started out as just like regular raw gym goers. Like a couple of them weren't even power lifters. They were just, and our crew's evolved. Like people have come, people have gone.
Yep.
But that early crew, we had like 2 power lifters, and everybody else was just like regular gym people that we were like, hey, do you want to learn how to put a bench shirt on? Like, hey, like you guys are cool. Let's be friends. We just need help.
Yeah.
And then eventually they were like, well, I want to put a Widowmaker on. I want to do stuff.
Sparked interest. And then Paul Wallace is saying indoor squat suits have always been notorious for blowing out. And I go back way more than 20 years. Oh, so that negated my previous comment. Anyhow, let's see. Thomas says, question, how do Inzer's equipment blow out so much? Okay, with their knee sleeves seem to stand up erect under 25-pound plates. Genuine question for who knows. Well, I do know.
Just different material.
It's different material, but I do know, I'm pretty sure that Inzer does make, again, an opinionated thing. I think they make more money selling their sleeves and their wraps and their belts than anything else. So they make more money just selling those things, so the quality is there because the demand is there. When it comes to their bench shirts and their squat suits, the demand is not quite there. The quality is not there. And it goes down. That could be part of it. So finally, we're going to get to now that, okay, we got no more. I'm caught up. I finally got caught up. So we're going to talk about the weekend really quick. So after we got home Tuesday, I'll get to the weekend. We got home Tuesday night, next morning, and we ate really fucking good down in Texas.
Yeah.
Kevin treated all of us, all 3 of us, me, Amber, and Katie, to lunch or dinner, I think 7 or 8 times.
My favorite was that like giant smoked barbecue pit.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to freak me out because Kevin was like, there's just a bunch of meat out in the open and you just pick your meat. And I was like, oh no.
Done that way.
Oh no.
Oh,
but I was like, you just pick it for me.
So
it was good.
It was good. We ate really fucking good. And then came home. So Tuesday night, 11:30 o'clock at night. Then we went to the gym the next day, did bench. I did a close grip bench. My Widowmaker, I benched 865 close grip, which is the most I've ever close grip before. My weakest grip. So I was like, oh, well, that's definitely I didn't lose anything. The trip didn't fuck with me that much, which led me into Saturday. Now, I hadn't benched in my shirt for 2 weeks. So I went in Saturday. My goal was to do heavy doubles. So I shirted up and I doubled 1,050, just floating reps, 1,050 for 2 reps. Pretty easy. Went to 1,205, hit it for 1 rep. I was trying to hit a 1 board on these doubles. Hit it for 1 rep. It was about that close to the board. But I blew it up. Came down for a 2nd rep, but I missed groove. I had touched the board out of the groove, which made it lean to the side. They grabbed it. I went to 1265, hit it for a very smooth single, but I kind of looked back over my face too far, hit the rack. I was like, fuck the double. Just call that a single. Went from 1265 to 1,400 pounds flat and hit that to a 1 board with
much better.
Very, very convincing 1 board.
It just wasn't a weekend for doubles.
No. But coming off of 2 weeks, no shirt work, hitting 1,400 pounds I was like, wow, all right, I'm back. So very, very cool. Very, very successful weekend. I had something up here. Let me look. Thomas says, yeah, that makes sense. Because I've been just cruising around for gear, sleeves, wraps, etc. to recommend to gym buddies who also get into raw powerlifting a bit more due to me. Inter sleeves came out at like $230 US. Holy shit. That's a lot, man. I know they're not cheap, but yeah, let's see. Mini Kool-Aid over on YouTube also asks, Gene's 1,005 bench used a Phenom. Pretty sure how in the world did it not rip? So,
answer that, and then I might have found him a gym.
Okay. Yeah, so he was in a first generation Phenom that had like the one little yellow triangle over here and said Phenom. It didn't have all the crazy like logos all over it. So I think the more simple design Phenom may have been better. But again, this is when the Phenom first came out. Maybe material was better. He benched 1,000 pounds, 2 occasions, 1,005 and 1,010. I don't know if the 1,005. No, it had to have been. Yeah, both 1,005, 1,010 were both in Phenoms. Again, that was 20 years ago. That was like in 2002 or 2004, so almost 20 years ago. Could be a quality thing. I know guys like, I think Ryan Kennelly told me that Inzer would send him like 6 new shirts a week. So like, because of how quickly they stretch out and are worthless, he would get 6 shirts. He would use one, toss it to the side, grab the new one, use it, toss it to the side, grab a new one. So I don't know. I don't know how it worked. It might have been a supply thing or a material was better thing. Who knows?
So real quick, going back to Nick. There is a gym 28 minutes from Knoxville called Maxed Out Gym. It's in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. It looks kind of like USPA, but they've got big dudes that can help hand out if you're looking for like spots and stuff like that. I don't know where you live now, if you've been there and it's just not for you or what, but yeah, if you guys go to Anderson Powerlifting's Instagram page, there's a highlight that just says gyms, and we had asked on there before, like, list where your gym is at. We're looking for powerlifting gyms, and there's just a bunch of people that put where their gyms are. That's how I found this one. There's a couple other ones in like Charleston, West Virginia, like a couple other Kentucky places. Yeah. So anyway, it's called Maxed Out Gym.
There you go.
You could check it out. I hope that helps.
And then this one guy is asking, do you think being heavy helps you in weightlifting? Yes, to a certain point. The old tried and true method of mass moves mass. So if the heavier you are, the more weight you can lift. I truly believe that. Let's see. Matt, do you feel you recover better not shirting up a week or two, or do you just like you miss out too much doing that? Yeah. Once in a while, I'll dial it back. I'll still shirt up, but like with a more like a less aggressive piece and just do lighter weight, but it's still heavy per the equipment I'm using, like a single ply or a double ply. The weights are lighter, like by 300 to 400 pounds, maybe 500 pounds lighter than I normally would. So it's technically a deload, but I'm still being worked because it's like less aggressive piece, but it's still heavy for that piece. So that's kind of, I feel I just don't like taking time off. I need to be under those loads often. I need to practice my technique, even though I'm not a master of it, but I'm pretty good at it. But I still want to consistently learn and practice and make things perfect. I mean, nothing's perfect, but get as close to perfect as possible. Let's see. Thomas thinks Nick had to leave. That's fine. No problem. To my understanding, the new SDPs are extremely similar to the OG materials. That's what Matt says. Oh, maybe Gene just got lucky with like a good piece. I don't know. Let's see. Justin Farley's up here. Cool. We're caught up again. Cool. All right. I like to answer all the questions. I don't like to leave anything behind. So that's why I tend to get behind. I'm going back through and answering all the missed questions. So, but yeah. So moving forward, this weekend was a raging success. Handling that 1,400 pounds is my, including the 2 attempts at my bomb out a few weeks ago. I think that's my 15th time handling 1,400 pounds in training or in a meet circumstance. So I think that's pretty cool. It was a nice lift. I was very happy with it. It was very clean. Just got to get it more. We have a 14-inch pad, by the way. We have a custom 14-inch pad on the way, being made by Rick Davis, who owns Edge Fitness in Canton, Ohio. Old friend of mine. He worked right next to Iron Chamber, so I've known him for a long time. Made me a 14-inch pad's on the way, and we can put that on our bench because that's going to be the next step. towards the 1,400-pound bench, and nobody can tell me that a 14-inch wide pad is not necessary for what I'm doing, because no one else is doing what I'm doing. So I need it.
And
it's
if you
to
can
that
compete
point.
on one,
it's IPA legal. 14-inch pads are IPA comp spec now. They won't always be at IPA meets because not everybody has a fat pad, but if you have one, you can put it on there. It has to still have the legal height, but the 14-inch wide pad is now legal. That is comp spec, and that is going. A 1,400-pound bench, I think, is not going to happen on 12-inch pad. At least with me. I mean, it could. It's just the 14 inches is going to be like the next extreme milestone that's going to help me go to 14. And then eventually, the ultimate goal, the goal where I could truly say, I think this is enough.
Like, I would get this tattooed on my knuckles.
I'm going to go do something else now, is 1,500 pounds. I think that is humanly possible. I need that kind of equipment. Mini Kool-Aid says on YouTube, when was the last time you threw on a poly shirt? Oof. A year and 13 months ago. 13 months.
Was it that long? I feel like probably like 4 months ago, we put one on to see, like, just to mess around.
No. It was 13 months ago at the November IPA meet in York, Pennsylvania, where I bombed out trying to bench 1,070, 1140, 1150 in a single ply. No, it's been 13 months. It's been 13 months since I threw on a poly, and I'm really happy about it. And he also asks, when's the Air sponsorship coming?
Oh, boost.
Probably never.
That would be awesome. Probably never, but
it's probably not
going
to happen. They're not going to sponsor someone like me. They want
so like dream sponsorships. Rain,
Boost, Marucci, yeah.
Peter Panda
Express, Peter Panda. It's not going to happen, but I can dream, right? Also on YouTube here, we've got Howard Weingarten. What's up? Maybe you can answer this. Does Pharrell make inserts for the F8 to go in it from 3-ply to make more plies? Yes, he has. He has the Century loop. It's a figure 8. You can stick in there.
Does he sell those though?
He sells them now.
Oh, he does.
Yep.
Okay.
And he also has it's like a single ply F8 shirt, but from like here up, like there's just the chest piece and the arms.
Yeah, it's like the same size as a Widowmaker, but it has the cylindrical arms.
It actually looks like the upper half of the shirt. So yes, he does make those. Or can he add plies, dude? He can do. He can do anything. It's called F8 Customs. Think about it as like a hot rod customs shop. Like he can add plies. He can take plies out. He can do this. He can do anything you can think of. You just got to reach out to him.
Within patent regulations, for like other companies and but
Justin Jafari says, how do you deal with burnout? I
don't have it very often. Sleep, eat.
Sleep more.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep is the answer to the test. Sleep, calories, carbs, calories, more sleep. That is the answer. Mitigate your stress. That sounds so stupid, but it's true.
That was a huge factor for you. Like getting out of the Marine Corps and cutting that was 95% of your stress.
Yeah.
And now that you just do what you want when you want, like we still have a fuck ton of stuff to do all the time.
Yeah.
And like life gets stressful because we're human beings, but cutting out stress has helped us both. That's a great answer.
Oh yeah. We got here. Let's see. Got Matt says. So I had a question about wraps. I think.
Yeah, like are the thickest, strongest, are crazy thick and long wraps necessary in multiply?
Well, it depends on the loads you're using. I mean, if you are a 500 or 600, 700 pound bencher, I think that you still need some stiff-ish wrap. That's I think 36-inch wraps are like the do all. Like you need those. I think, in my opinion, but. For me, handling 14 to 1,450 pounds, I need the strongest and the stiffest and the most supportive equipment.
Yeah.
It's a little different than when I was benching 5 and 6 and 7 when I was a teenager. I just kind of used whatever. But when I started getting into the 8s and the 9s, then eventually here 3 years ago, getting into the 1,000 range, I definitely need like stiff and long and very supportive. Yes.
Yeah. I know it's not like legal in competition to wrap far down your forearm like casting,
Mm-hmm.
but do you think that would help some of your forearm pain? Or do you think it would just add more pressure?
No, I get all the forearm pain because there's no compression here.
Yeah.
If I had some sort of compression, it would help. It would help a lot, but I don't have that. It's not legal, unfortunately.
You looked so sad.
I am.
When you said that. Like your face just drooped. Like, oh, bummer.
Matt saying, piggybacking on the SDPs, you can tell the difference between the ones that will be prone to blowout and the ones that won't, like the purple and black ones from the later 2015s. With use, you could see the collar start fraying, but the old school materials like the Smurf blue and the red ones never frayed. Instead, they just stretch out over time. You never see these old ones blow out. The new ones seem OG. Okay.
Huh.
Let's see. Peaking both raw and single ply at the same time.
Can you peak both raw and single ply at the same time?
I'm not the right guy to ask.
Probably not, because training needs to be different.
If you are training specifically for single ply, you have to train for single ply. But if you want to peak raw, I think they have to be separate. But I'm not a good guy to ask because I don't do the raw thing. So who knows? And then Matt also says, I feel like 36-inch wraps almost aren't enough anymore. Well, mostly I rely on my Anderson KLA 5000 36-inch wraps. Rob sent me some pretty cool ones. He sent me a pair of two pairs of 36-inch wraps. One was really stiff, but like standard width. And then one was stiff, but like that much wider for like more coverage. I have yet to break those in because they're so extreme. But eventually I'll get them broken in.
Because is there a rule on how wide your wraps can be?
I'm sure there's something in the rule book. I'm not positive.
I guess it depends on federation probably, but like I've even read some rule books that don't even have rules on like wraps or shirts. It's just like you may use a bench shirt.
Normally it'll say like must be made of canvas, denim, or poly, be constructed one piece.
Yeah, but like some of them don't even, like it's just like you can use them.
Yeah.
Must have a closed back or whatever, but it's never anything like your wrist wraps have to be a certain width. It's always length.
Purgatory Strength 603 says, how should someone go about picking a shirt currently in an SDP, but I'm looking to switch? Depends if you're short-limbed or long-limbed. If you're long-limbed, I'd suggest doing something with a stretchier material. You're an SDP. The long-limbed guys always seem to fare better in something that's stretchy. If you're a short-limbed guy like myself, apparently my humerus bones are like extra short. I don't know if that's because every time Rob sends me a shirt, I have to send it back and say, dude, it's too long.
I don't think it's your bones. I think it's how big your fucking arms are. And every time Rob fixes it, you get bigger arms.
That's my bones.
It's not your bones.
My bones.
You have normal bones.
No, that's my bones. So if you're short-limbed, stiffer material is sometimes better because a short-limbed guy is not going to make a stretchy material stretch as far as a long-limbed guy would. Mm-hmm. I always direct people to like the Katana or the F6 from Titan or Anderson Powerlifting rather. F6s are Titan's stretchier material because it's thinner than Katana. Katanas tend to be pretty stiff, non-forgiving. I'd say try to find some stuff that's used. Like order some used shirts off of like eBay or Powerlifting or Multiplay Powerlifting on Facebook. They sell equipment on there. Just find used stuff or find guys that have shirts and want you to try one out and see what works. Don't buy stuff brand new and the chance that it might not work for you. So find stuff that's used, find guys that have equipment, try it out and see what works. That's probably the best, like the cheapest
don't be
route.
afraid to get it altered.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of times people aren't patient enough. They put a shirt on, they're like, this is shit. Moving on, buying another one. But if you tweak it, take the chest in, figure out where it's fitting, where it's not, what is working in the shirt, what isn't working in the shirt. Can you twist the sleeves? Can the back be tighter? Can it be tighter around your lats? Can it, take time to make that shirt fit you? Like it takes gym a lot of work and alterations to get his shirts right. Like now we know what he's doing. We know, hey, we're going to get this shirt. We're going to put it on for 3 sessions to break it in. It's not going to get any lower than a fucking 4 board. And then we're going to take it and have the arm shortened, the arms brought in a little, chest brought in. We're going to work in it again. Oh, we got it down to a 3 board. It's going to take 85,000 more sessions to get it to touch. He's going to use it for a year, and we're going to take it in again. It takes a long time. It's not a t-shirt. You're not going to buy it and throw it on like a t-shirt from Walmart and have it fit you perfect.
Trial and error. Lots of years of trial and error to figure this out. And I want to announce really quick and she's going to screenshot any questions you have. If anybody has questions they would like to be answered in a YouTube video, I have a YouTube schedule right here. And one of the videos is on a whole video on reverse grip bench.
We're recording that this week.
So if you have reverse grip bench questions you might want get featured in the video, put them in the chat, and then she will screenshot them, and then we can use that for the video. So I just want to throw that out there. Matt says would be nice to have like a 1.5 meter wrist wrap so you could get some coverage on the center of the forearm too. That'd be fucking nice.
But you can't, right? Because that's casting.
Some feds don't. Well, Tiny Meeker always goes down his forearm a bit.
See, and that's where, and so like his next comment is, I'm like pretty sure the IPA doesn't have a wrap length or width rule. And I'm pretty sure you're right because I've read the IPA rule book front to back, up and down.
What's up, Cody?
I always like to reread anybody's rule book before we go to a meet, even though Jim has lifted almost exclusively in the IPA in the last 2-ish years, like IPA, RPS. Rules change, and they don't always announce them. We know of several rules that have changed in the IPA this year that hasn't been announced. And so before you go to a meet, read the rule book.
Yeah. Because
the last thing you want is to be up there for an all-time world record or a PR or whatever and have them catch you on some bullshit you didn't know about.
True.
So anyway, that was like a mini rant.
Guten Abend, Marlon. How we doing? Good to see you.
I think you can cast in the IPA because
I'm sure you could.
I'll look it up too, Matt. Yeah, I'll look it up.
And then Mini Kool-Aid on YouTube. Is there a squat suit or briefs you'd recommend? Well, I've only ever used the Boss suit and Boss briefs. I've not used any of the newer stuff that was made of the Evil Twin, all the red and maroon and stuff. I know they stopped doing that. They're going back to the original design with katana.
What material was it made of before?
Well, first it was katana, then it was Evil Twin. Now they're not doing Evil Twin anymore, so now it's back to katana.
Oh, so because the Boss material is just 2 layers of Evil Twin laminated. But now it's going to be katana laminated.
Like it used to be.
Okay.
So yeah, the Boss, so like people are like rave over like the Predator briefs and the Leviathan suit like work in unison. So as does Boss briefs and the Boss suit like are meant to work together. So I had success with the Boss stuff back when I was doing that crap. I have 2 900-pound squats under my belt back when I was doing the full power thing. But so that's what I'd recommend. That's all I know because that's all I've ever used.
And again, if you guys like, a lot of people like the Leviathan suits and stuff because of the strings.
Yeah.
Right? But like Rob Farrell, when we tell you he can make alterations to anything, we're not kidding. Yeah. If you are like, well, I don't want to get a Boss suit because it doesn't have, is it called strings? Laces. Call Rob. Be like, hey, can you throw some laces in this bitch?
I don't know what he might charge you.
He should charge you, but it can be done.
I don't know what he'll charge you, but he would do it for you.
He can do it. Yeah. He put laces on some weird shit.
He's a fucking he's just
genius.
He's a genius and he's a master of his craft. I will tell you that.
Somebody the other day said that he was the Elon Musk of powerlifting. I forgot to show you that. I don't know who said it, but I saw it in a comment somewhere, and I was like, that's cool.
That's kind of cool.
Jim would like that.
Yeah. And Cody says most of us don't have to worry about world records.
Oh, yeah, you do, buddy.
Give me that shit, Cody. What are you talking about? Thomas says, IPF rule says shall not exceed 40 inches length. 40 inches? Well, fuck. What am I using 36 inches once for? I got 4 inches. And 3 inches in width for a wrist wrap. So, yes, there are rules about it, sadly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, some books have every single specification and they'll whip those fucking tapes out and check. But like you go to IPA, they don't do gear checks. You know?
J Clow 17, do you get more carryover doing reverse grip and a slingshot or raw?
Do you get more carryover doing reverse grip in a slingshot or doing reverse grip raw?
Both, actually, because it's that fucking magical. So, that's
a good question.
That's a good question.
I'll screenshot that. Sorry.
That's a reverse grip question. Okay, cool. Howard Weingarten on YouTube. I've broken both wrists in football younger days. Fuck, that sucks.
Ooh.
And I've had real trouble grabbing the bar reverse grip. Do you have a way to get around that stuff? Well, my biggest recommendation, unless that's supposed to be a...
I mean, it could be, but you can still...
I'll still answer anyway. Fine, yeah. But so my physiology, my body, I cannot grab a bar in a supinated position. I cannot do this with a straight bar. My wrist, it's too painful. I've not broken my wrist before. So the way I grab the bar is not full Anthony Clark supination. I grab the bar between these two fingers, middle and index finger, and the bar sits vertically in the hand now, just like that. So it's not full supination. It's right between the two. So try grabbing the bar between these two fingers and doing it that way. Otherwise, I mean, if it's too painful, just don't do it. It's not worth the pain. I can only do it because there's no pain. Now, since the bar sits, when you do pronated or supinated, the bar sits horizontally in the palm like this. Same thing with full supinated. But now when you hold the bar between those two fingers, the bar sits vertically. That's a little bit more painful on that bone right there in the palm because the weight is not distributed over a wider area. It's distributed over a very, very small area. So it can be discomforting on the bone right there in the palm. Not a big deal. You'll get used to it. Try that if you've not tried it before. But yeah, the reverse grip is just a magical fucking movement. It really is. Do
you think you would get the same benefit by using like the football bar with more of like a neutral,
so
like a grip like this?
So when
I can't see, but you can.
Yeah.
Like
so she's talking about using the football bar that has the parallel handles.
Yeah.
You could just use that.
Or like not fully parallel, but there's like parallel, and there's like
the canted ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could do that. I just don't like the football bars because they rotate in your hands like this. It's fucking irritating. But so you could do that if you can't reverse grip, just do that instead. I'd say that'd be a good substitute. But
would it still rotate to like way too much if you did it off like pins? Because it would like come down flat, and then you could just push up, come down flat.
Well, the bar it does that no matter.
It just
does it. Okay. It's just a pain in the ass bar. So I fucking hate it.
That's why you switched to reverse grip.
Well, that's not why, but like
you used to use it.
Well, so if you think about it, so if the football bar, you grab everybody raves about it for tricep strength. It's like this. Mm-hmm. This is mostly for YouTube because you guys can't really see what I'm doing, but it's like this. So it's like, triceps. That's so cool. Okay, I can do the exact same movement with a straight barbell by using my reverse grip technique. Instead of being your hands like this, now they're just like this. It's the exact same arm alignment with a different hand position. It's the exact same thing.
The weight is distributed differently.
Slightly different.
Yeah.
But it's the exact same arm position as a football bar.
Yeah.
Just with, I mean, the grip's a little bit wider, but you can go wide out here with the football bar too. So I'm wide with the football bar. My reverse grip technique, it's the exact same arm position. So if you can't reverse grip, even with the modified version, use a football bar.
That's like the whole point of reverse grip is to build that tricep strength.
Yeah.
And so that's another way that you can just build the tricep strength.
Yeah, using the exact same arm position.
Yeah.
I think the Kabuki Cadillac bar, it's that football bar that has the curve in it.
I wonder if that one rocks less because it has the curve.
It's supposed to negate the rocking.
Nice.
So
we just saw one somewhere.
We just saw one at
Where were we?
North Dallas Strength.
North Dallas.
So let's see. Matt says, I'd love to see Rob start making other gear outside of band shirts. I'm sure he'd be a pro. He would be a fucking dangerous man making squat suits and deadlift suits. I have talked to him about that before. The last time I went up to see him, and he's not interested right now. But not a forever thing.
I think everyone keeps him pretty damn busy with the unlimited shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, rotate shit is miserable. That's right, Cody. Jibiden, Med's taking over. Going to have a good week, guys. Okay.
Cool. And then Howard's back over here.
Have a good week there, Jibiden.
Said, I'll try that more. I never had them set, and it is the biggest problem. And the football bar moves more in my hand, so I just need to try the bar between the fingers more.
Try it more. it's really, even though your hands are flat when you grab it, it really doesn't hurt the wrists. I've had wrist pain. I've had more wrist pain just being out of position with a pronated grip, like the wrist bending back. I've had no wrist pain. I could even do that bench style with no wrist wraps.
Me too. I don't use them on there until it gets heavy, but like I want to use my wrist wraps right away with regular bench.
Yeah, I just wear the wrist wraps with the reverse grip modified version just for that feeling of support and tightness.
Mm-hmm.
But because of that hand position, you don't really. I've benched 6 plates raw with no wrist wraps in that variation. So it's really not necessary because it doesn't put any stress on the. Actually, all the weight is distributed and sitting on that bone in the wrist. It goes straight down to the forearm. Like, yeah, your wrists are canted backwards, but it's putting no undue stress because the bar is limited by it's sitting on the bone in the palm. So it's not pushing on your hand more because it's sitting right here on that bone. Vinny Kool-Aid says, has Kate ever used a shirt? Just wondering.
No, I have no. I've used a Widowmaker and a Ram.
She's used those two slingers, yes.
Yeah. I don't tolerate like pain very well, I guess. And it's painful as hell. And I also am not consistent enough to make it worth buying a shirt.
Thomas says, I've written out a plan for 8 weeks of 2-board work and then 8 weeks of 1-board work. You reckon this is a good trial phase for me as a newbie equipped lifter so far with only a supercharged Ram? I don't think you'd have to spend 8 weeks on each board. I think you could cut that down to maybe 4 weeks on each board, have like a total of 8 weeks, 4 and 4.
Or like go through a cycle, like do like 4 weeks, turn around, repeat it.
Yeah, you could do that. Cody says, I have an elite FTS American press bar, lots of rotating and no knurling on the handles. What the fuck?
Ooh.
It starts to come out of your hands on the way up. That's
spooky.
Kind of sketchy. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks, but damn, that's not what you want. Let's see here. Okay, cool. So just to reiterate and go back, back to normal weeks, back to normal benching. We've got the Patreon videos going up on a weekly basis, 5 days a week. We've got members over here on YouTube. If you want to see what the Patreon guys see, I've been posting on Patreon for over 2 years now, ever since my first 1,000-pound bench back in March of 2020.
Is that when we started it?
Maybe slightly before that. I think leading up to that.
No,
1,000.
I feel like you're maybe right because Grammy, it was one of our trips home that she was like, "Oh, I'm on Patreon watching this lady knit or
maybe
paint
it was
or
for
something,"
the Arnold
and
that
she
year.
told us, yeah.
So just under 2 years, I've been posting on Patreon. If you want to see what they see, you can join the members. If you don't want to have to download Patreon and go through that crap, you can go on members right here on YouTube, and you can watch all the same workouts that the Patreon guys do. It's $9.99.
Yeah, so it's a penny cheaper on YouTube.
Penny cheaper.
But we also have 2 tiers. There's just one tier on Patreon, it's just $10 a month to get everything. It's easiest. But for YouTube, it's easier to post content and split it up. So we have 2 tiers. One is just bench only. You get Wednesday bench workouts and Saturday bench workouts. And then the other is the $9.99. So that one's like $3.99 or $2.99, something like that. It's like $3, $4. Then the other one, you get everything. What do we call it? Full power. Full power. Something like we can see
which just
every single
means
thing.
Everything, not just.
Yeah, not that he is full power, but like if he does a Zercher squat.
Yeah.
One during a workout, you see it.
Mini Kool-Aid says, bought the bench only sub on here, no complaints. Really good stuff. Keep it up.
Nice, cool.
It's cool, man.
And
Thank you.
So obviously Patreon has a lot more content right now because it's got 2 years of everything. I am working. My goal is to have by the end of February-ish to take all of that content from Patreon and also have it in members. So there's only like 3 or 4 videos on members right now, but all of the old videos are going to be going up as fast as I can get them up there.
And then Thomas, yes, please send over whatever you want me to look at. I can take a look for you. That's not a problem. And Cody says, when's the table talk date? January 16th. That's a Monday.
Yep.
I was talking about that earlier. We're going to drive the 8 to 9 hour trip to Dayton, Ohio. Spend some time with Amber at her place. Do the Table Talk podcast. Probably spend one night more. And then the next day, Tuesday, drive home. 9 to 10 hours. So January 16th, looking forward to that. I actually am looking forward to it.
He just doesn't like the driving, but it'll be fine. You'll have me and Walter to to drive you crazy the entire drive.
Yep. Anyhow, Amber's on here. Holy shit. Speaking of which, goddamn. Hi, Amber. We're talking about the Table Talk podcast next month, coming to your place and spending a couple nights there. So thank you for accommodating us. Appreciate that.
Stink Mop Jones.
Stink Mop Jones, myself, and Katie will join you.
If you guys don't know, Stink Mop Jones is Walter. He has like 45 different names.
Hi. Anyway, guys, so we're doing that. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait either. I am excited for it. I just fucking hate the long drives. We drove to Boston a few months ago, and that was 9.5 hours. And Jesus Christ.
I would say the only bad, I'm a very good passenger. I love long road trips. I get to do so much stuff and I get to see so much stuff.
Yep.
And it's a party for me the whole time. So it's different for that. But the two worst parts of that drive were how New York City smelled.
Fuck New York City.
That was so bad. And then remember that fucking Sasquatch bathroom?
Yeah.
I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I opened the door and I said, nope, I'll hold it.
There was 2 porter johns at this rest stop in
so
Delaware.
Scary.
It was in Delaware.
Was it Delaware or Connecticut?
No, it was either Delaware or we didn't go through Rhode Island.
No, I think it was Connecticut.
No. Maybe Connecticut. Either one of those little fucking dumb states up north.
Oh, don't say dumb. What if someone's from those states
and
on here?
we stopped.
It was like a national park thing.
Yeah, both porter johns were filled to the brim, and then there was a mountain of shit sticking out of each one of the holes.
I wish he was exaggerating.
No, I was
like, he went to the bathroom first because he was like, we're in a weird area. He was like, you just stay in the car and lock the doors. I'm gonna see if it's safe for you to walk over there. He went, came back, and was like, you're not gonna want to go in there. And I was like, well, there's another one, and I really have to go. We went over there. I opened it, turned around, threw up, came back.
Like,
it was
the look of it, like some people, this had to have happened. Some people went in there and stood on the rim, and squatted and shat because there's no way it could be piled up above the rim of the toilet itself without that happening. That happened.
Yeah, there's no, and honestly, if I had to go worse than that, I would just go into the woods behind it.
That's where Sam Squanch lives.
I'd rather go use his bathroom.
Yeah. So
because that was the most terrifying thing.
Back to the root of the story.
Yeah.
Driving absolutely fucking I cannot. Oh my goodness. The long drives. A drive that I can handle pretty much any day of the week would be like 2 to 3 hours. Going to Rob's is a 5-hour journey. That's not bad.
No, it's an easy drive.
When you go above 5 hours, I really fucking hate it. So like going to Ohio, 6.5. Going to Boston was 9.5. Going to Dayton, going to Cincinnati was almost 10 hours. So we're doing that. That's fun.
Yeah. Howard Weingarten said, how wide is the reverse grip? I'm at the gym right now and I'm going to try it.
Okay, so you put the ring where you like trigger fingers on the rings, right? How you normally do it. So put the rings right there on the palm. That's about right. So that most of you.
That's narrow.
No, that's not. It's as wide as you can go.
I have my pinky
touching the rings.
Yeah.
Well, that's about the same.
As long as some part of your finger is touching the rings.
To make it comp legal, like as long as your pinky finger can touch the rings. But I put the ring right there in the palm. That's where I have it. You could go a little narrower, but generally speaking, I put it right there on the palm.
Mm-hmm. See what's like comfortable for you.
Yeah. I mean, it could. So there's not much to see here in Dayton. Oh, well, we've been to Dayton and we didn't quite like it much.
We house hunted in Dayton and said,
yeah, we house hunted there. That was a mistake.
The only thing we liked at Dayton was Amber.
Yeah, that's it. I gotta respect whoever stood on that holding tank, squatted to unleash the beast, and then walk out, no questions asked. The weirdest part is there was no toilet paper. I wouldn't even step
up there. Like I would not. They're absolutely not.
What if you slip?
I would die. I would stay in there dead. Okay.
Like you're taking a risk. Like what if you slip?
I took a risk opening that door. I should
have
gone straight to the hospital to be deloused. And like I stood there for a second, shocked.
You opened the door, you just stared. I was like, uh-oh. And you went close, turn,
gag.
and walked to
all
the
the
car.
way back to the fucking car. Oh my god, you were laughing, and I was like, "Why would you
The
make
car
me
was
do
shaking. That was.
that?" You were like, "I thought maybe the other one was better. Why couldn't you check for me first? You wanted me to go through that."
No, I didn't. I thought for sure if one is filled to the brim, there's a mountain 6 inches taller than the flat toilet.
There was that lady in the van who was in there when she was coming out of it as we were pulling up. So was she a squat dumper? There were so many people at this it was like a beautiful overlook. Like there was like water and woods and rocks, and it was great. But it was so disgusting. Straight to the hospital. Yes, delouse me. I feel icky right now.
That's part of
So thanks, Connecticut.
So yeah, fuck you. Whatever. Stop. It was a beautiful, like you went to the edge of
it was
where
the drive back to this place,
and there
gorgeous.
Was mountain. It was almost like going to Skyline Drive. Like there was just this valleys and hills and mountains it was really cool, but like those porta johns were fucking hell. Living hell. Anyway.
Oh, I'm gonna throw up. We gotta choose. I'm like inches from gagging right
Amber
now.
said van ladies take huge dumps, can confirm. I don't want to ask how you confirm that. I'm just gonna roll with it. You okay?
No. Do I look okay? I'm struggling over here.
That's our Boston story, a part of the Boston story.
That was before we got there. I gotta stop. Oh god. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Ah, fuck you. I told you I was right on the edge. Oh. Anyway. How about them sports?
There are usually cleaning dates in porta potties. Those units probably haven't been cleaned since 2006.
I'd be shocked if they were clean that soon. We have got to change the subject. Talk about anything. Anything else would be great.
Howard said, much, much better. I'm starting to like it. Fuck yeah, reverse grip. We're going to reverse grip now. We're back. We're past the.
Why'd you have to do that?
I wanted one more.
You're gonna get something here when we hang up this podcast. Like that.
Much, much better. Good. I'm glad you did that. Oh Christ, what we got over here? Just wanted to say you're one bad motherfucker. Oh, thank you. I'm just a normal guy, but thank you for saying that. So, okay,
that's a nice compliment, but I'm mad at you right now. Making me gag.
Yeah, I didn't make you gag. You told the story.
In other news,
made yourself gag.
In other news, 3 weeks from today, applications for the scholarship open up.
Okay, January 1st, exactly 3 weeks to the date. We're opening up applications for the Colbstrong Scholarship fundraiser. Just the
Colbstrong Scholarship Powerlifting Fund.
We should probably know. That's what I was hoping to. That's what it was.
Yeah.
We are very close to $11,000. This last fundraiser on the 30th, which is Deadlift Disco at Unleashed Strength Gym. If you want to do it, please stop by. $30 to enter. We have prizes, cash prizes, things like that. So, yeah, that should push us to $11,000.
Let me show them the trophy that I made.
Okay.
Well, there's 4 of them, but let me get one.
So it's highest male-female deadlift, and then highest coefficient. Or Glossberger
Glossbrenner.
Male-female. So it's 4 total winners. And each one gets a very sturdy. I'm very proud of how sturdy it actually is. One of these.
I made those
Deadlift Disco trophies. Fuck yeah. There we go. Colbstrong Scholarship. Be kind, lift heavy, and give back. Yeah, and they're actually like it's. If you drop it, that's on you. But like they're actually pretty sturdy. This is 2 pieces.
So that's like 4 pieces all put together.
Yeah, but Glossboner.
Glossboner.
I like saying Glossburger because it's funny.
Yeah, and you also don't know how to say it.
Glossburger.
But yeah, anyway, so they all have a disco ball. There's 4 of those, and then $100 cash prize.
I'm not going to ask Cody. We're going to move on.
It better not be about that fucking shit story.
It is.
We're done.
We're not going to go there. He's never gagged on live before, so.
Oh.
So anyway, applications for the Colbstrong Scholarship Fund open up January 1st. We accept them until the 31st. She read the comment, and so we have a board of people: myself, Katie, probably Joe, maybe Amber if she's up to it, if she's not busy with the ROTC kids. At least 4 or 5 people that will review all the applications, and we collectively pick hopefully this year will be 11
Yeah.
11 people between the ages of 13 to 23 who will receive $1,000 checks from us. That's pretty cool. So that opens up again January 1st. You're always down, Amber. Thank you very much.
Nice. Yeah, I'd say we're probably like, we still have to buy shirts for the, for the meet.
Alfredo.
So we're probably like 300, 350 away, I'm going to guess, is right about where we're at.
Yeah.
Where we'll land unless we get more entries. We have like 16 or 17 people sign up right now.
One really quick. Wilson Porter, is that your first competition ever? So let me ask you that question before I answer.
I won't compete until March. Am I still able to apply for the scholarship?
Is that have you competed ever, or is that just your first one? And Alfredo, Mr. Move to Texas and leave us all behind, motherfucker. How you doing?
Bro, don't bully your friends on here.
He said yes, that's his first meet ever. So I don't know how to answer
So
that.
last year we had it to where you had to be verified with open powerlifting. We will take that question to the board for this year.
Yeah.
Hang tight, bud.
Yeah, hang tight. Just, if you want more information or if you want to know closer to that time, you can always just DM me. First meet is in March, competing at the Unleashed meet in April. Cool. Just DM her or myself. We'll do closer to that date because
we don't like to make like unilateral decisions.
Because it's meant for verifiable, like competitive powerlifters.
Yeah. But that's why we have like our little board of.
I'm leaning
people.
Me on my own. I'm just leaning towards probably not, but again, I'm not. I'm just one person out of the 4 or 5. So
okay, we'll vote and get back to you guys.
I vote probably not because it's meant for verifiable current competitive.
Just that way we have a vetting system. Like we know you are a power lifter.
Well, in that way, so it's consistent.
Yeah.
Like I've never competed before. I just go to the gym. Well, it's not really meant for you. It's meant for the competitive type.
Okay.
That's my opinion. But
I can see that.
There are going to be 4 or 5 of us on this panel.
Ew, Alfredo.
You sick fucking ass.
He actually has not had Hawaiian rolls in like a long time. He's completely switched to just Panda Express, which we had today.
Peter Panda.
And I have to bribe him now with coupons that I made. We call them Panda Pennies.
Fuck you, Alfredo, and your raw bench max. Fuck that. I don't give a shit. Where's my can of corn? I always have a can of corn nearby. I'm like, that's my raw bench right there.
Can of corn. We had really a good comeback when we were in Texas. I should have written it down.
Oh, I don't fucking remember.
It was so funny. I was like, I'm going to start using that. Yeah. I forget it.
I'm not sure. Anyway, so let me just...
You making notes over there, Professor?
No. Okay. So, anyway, we'll go ahead. It's been an hour and 12 minutes. And
what else is on that sticky note?
15 seconds.
I told you to make sure we talk about these things.
Right. Scholarship apps open in 3 weeks from today.
Check.
YouTube video requests. So really last minute thing before we wrap this thing up. I do have, like I said, I have an entire YouTube video scheduled for the entire month.
Through December. And then I think like the first half of January, we've got videos coming down the pipeline. But is there stuff that you guys specifically want to know or see?
Yeah.
So obviously we want to make content you guys want to watch.
I'm good. I miss you all. Yeah, we miss you too. Walter misses you too. Mr. Pickles. It's Pibbles.
And it's a girl.
It's like her full name is Penelope Schmiggles. Pibbles for short.
Schmiggles.
From Rick and Morty. Hopefully to have you all out here soon. Okay, bye. Love you. Love you back. Love you back. If anybody has any last minute YouTube ideas or requests, if you want me to make a specific video on a certain subject, just drop that in really quick before we wrap this thing up. And over here, Mini Kool-Aid, when will your Saturday Bench video be up?
After this one, it was up, and YouTube was like, took it down.
So I have to upload it twice. I upload it twice unlisted, one for Patreon and one for members here on YouTube.
Yeah.
And the Patreon one loaded. I shared that link.
The members one
and the members
kicked off. So
I have to redo it. It should be up tonight though. It's 9:17 Eastern Standard Time. It should be up by about 9:30 or maybe.
I'll do that as soon as we get off here. I'll work on that.
Cool.
So.
Anyway, so let's see. It might just go ahead and wrap it up here. Let's see. Oh, Matt Brooks. Good You wanted to
Yeah, I'm just
screenshot?
screenshotting.
Show us screenshot that for me. Matt Brooks, make a bench setup video. Perfect. Specific video, you want a white shirt and drop water. So, fuck you.
Dude, he has a full disco outfit. I know this is completely different, but he has a full disco outfit with an afro, sideburns, and chest hair for the deadlift disco. He's going to be our MC. It's going to be so funny. I feel like that's going to be even better than a white t-shirt.
Howard Weingarten says, how about hand placement and leg drive? That's a good one. She's gonna write that down. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Alfredo, that's absolutely goddamn not.
A wet t-shirt contest?
No.
With dem boobies?
No.
Okay.
I only have a few subscribers here and there. I don't want to lose them. So appreciate the subscriptions though, and the comments and the support though.
Yeah.
Thomas, have a good night. Yeah, DM me with that plan. Let me know how it's going. Cody Plum has a good one there if you want to screenshot that one.
How to set up correctly on a fucking ER bench.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, damn it. Is that a joke? Is that a joke, Cody? I'd like to know. I don't know because I can't figure it the fuck out. What I think is that I was talking to Paul Stein about this because he went to a USAPL meet. His last USAPL meet ever, by the way. Thank you, Paul. Good decision. But we're talking about leg position. I think your legs, I was looking at Blaine Sumner, how he sets up. He's a big, tall, 400-pound motherfucker, benching on an ER rack. And I think he had to have his legs like way out in front of him, like almost completely like locked out in order to attain leg drive, but also not pulverize his lower back.
Because it's so low? Like, is it much lower to the ground than
lower,
other benches?
They're thin, they're narrow, and they're very low to the ground because yeah, joke. Okay.
Well,
because Paul
Jim might actually make a video on this though.
Yeah, I'll just show one burning on fire. Paul.
Okay. For legal purposes, that arson joke was a joke.
Of course.
For legal purposes.
Plus, it's also
just it is just a joke.
Combo rack. But freaking Paul Wallace and Pat Porter were down in Florida this weekend competing. Also, they both had successful days at an RPS meet with a combo rack for bench. They had a monolift and a combo rack for bench and an RPS meet. I was like, you have got to be fucking kidding me.
It must have been what they had to use. I feel like maybe just talk to Amber if you're gonna make a video like this, because I mean she lifts.
I'm not going.
You're not going to.
I'm not
okay.
going to. It was a joke. It was a joke. Have a good night, Thomas. Have a good night, man. Yeah, he says. Yeah, Cody says it was a joke.
Okay.
I'm not making a video.
Anyway, now that you've riled him up, I'm gonna have to feed him Peter Panda again to get him to chill out.
No, they're closed. They closed at 9.
Right, you can have spaghetti and garlic bread.
Okay. So anyway, well, I think we'll call it there. It's been a nice night. It's been almost an hour and 20 minutes. So Cody, let's see. I had trouble touching last week, but don't have trouble at home. So there's obvious difference. There's a huge difference. Combo racks are just.
It has to be the lower to the. I mean, yeah, they're not as stable.
I was watching Pat and Paul, especially Pat, because Pat's a lot bigger, and he was trying to belly up to the bar, but he couldn't because the closer your legs come to the bench when the bench is lower, the less lower body you have. That's why floor press is so hard, because there's no lower body involved. So if you're on a standard bench in a real federation that uses real benches, that's about 17.5 to 18.5 inches from the top of the pad to the floor. You have a lot of lower body because your legs are far below the bench. But then the bench becomes lower, like an ER or a combo rack, your legs become closer to the pad. There's less lower body involved. There's less leg drive. There's less ability to push your belly up and arch. That's why the floor press, your legs are on the same exact plane as your back. That's why floor press is so goddamn hard, on top of just pausing on the floor and stuff like that. But yeah, combo racks, fuck them, dude. I hate combo racks so much. Howard Weingarten. Wait, I gotta back up. Oh, Minnie Kool-Aid said how to engage lats, maybe.
I screenshotted that.
Okay. Yeah. Google says you got the strongest bench press. Is this true?
It is.
I have the highest equipped bench in history, but
only man to ever bench 12 and 13, soon to be 14.
Yeah. And Howard Weingarten, I'm an old guy, so could you tell me how to get onto your Patreon? You have to go to Patreon.
Well, there is, to make it even simpler, in the description of this live, and then once this video is posted, the description, there's a direct link All you have to do is click on it and then sign up. If you want to join the members tab instead of Patreon, just click on like the Jimmy Kolb at the bottom, his name on YouTube. It'll take you to his channel, and there's a button at the top that says join. You click the join button and you join the members tab. You can get the 2 bench videos a week, or if you do the full power option, you'll get all the videos plus like when we travel and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's how. Super simple. There's just links in the description, or go to his page and hit join on the members.
There you go.
Hope that helps. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. You can email thekolbstrong@gmail.com. That's our email. That's probably the fastest way to get answers, or Instagram DM Kolbstrong.
I forget about the link. I'm like, oh, type in Patreon,
for
type in
like
my
the
name.
First 6 months, you were like, how do I get into Patreon again?
I still
and then
don't
I
know.
put the app on your phone, and you were like, this is amazing.
I just have the app now, so I don't really actually know.
Because Howard, Jim is also an old guy.
Yeah. Cody Plum, that's exactly what I felt I couldn't belly up. Yeah, because that bench is taking your legs out of the lift. It's ridiculous. Anyhow, I just don't lift in federations that use those things, but for some reason in Florida, at an RPS meet, Pat and Paul, amongst other lifters in that meet, had to bench on a combo rack. Insane. That is absolutely insane.
Anyway.
Hey, we will call it there. It's been over an hour and 20 minutes.
Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, guys.
Thanks a lot. Look for us every Sunday, both on YouTube and Instagram. I go live on both for benching and bullshitting. This is episode 24, benching and bullshitting.
For those of you listening to the actual podcast, let us know if the audio is any better than in the past. We do have a whole like professional microphone setup now. We bought it when you were going on ESPN. You had the Why are you showing that? Oh, you're showing
right here.
Don't show me. The ESPN interview. They were like, you need a good camera. You need a professional microphone. So we like scrambled and bought everything. Well, we just borrowed the camera. We have the mic, and I thought tonight, why not use it?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
So let us know how the audio is, basically.
I did have. Oh, Cody, have a nice night. Yeah, good. Thanks for the laughs. And during the shitter story, you're welcome. Josh Tipple 168. Yo, Jimmy, my pecs got tore up from doing Spoto presses raw. I wonder why. If I did them again, do you think my pecs would get worse? Well, here's the thing. If your pecs are getting tore up, it's because you are engaging the Spoto press with the pecs. You're not engaging with the triceps. So if you do it again in that manner, yes, it will get worse, because you can't bench heavy weights relying on the pecs as the main muscle mover. You have to pause. So it's a Spoto press, 2 to 3 inches from the chest, whatever it is. You have to pause. You have to engage from the triceps. You can't engage from the chest, or it's going to tear you up worse. That is correct.
I screenshotted that one too, so we could make that into a full video showing stuff too if you want.
Well, I talked about engaging triceps with the video we're going to post tomorrow.
Or the next week. I think tomorrow full workouts going up to 1400.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So for YouTube as well, we're going to post a video, an example video about
like what is on Patreon.
Yeah. So I'm going to take the 1,400-pound workout from this weekend. I'm going to put it on YouTube as a video you can actually watch.
So you'll get one whole of
workout.
those videos for free just here on YouTube.
End to end with full commentary. That's what I do for Patreon. That's what I do for members as well. So I will put that on there. That's tomorrow. Anyway, yeah. Hey guys, thanks a lot for hopping on here. I want to shut it down because I want to keep you guys here all.
And we've already said goodbye like 10 times. So
yeah. And Minnie Kool-Aid said showcase all your shirts.
I screenshot it too. I got it.
Perfect. So please, we come on here 8 p.m. on Sunday nights. That's Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Benching and bullshitting. This was number 24, episode 66 of the Kolbstrong Power Podcast altogether. Thank you all for joining me here tonight. It's been fun. We had a lot of fucking laughs. This is a good one. We'll be on here next week talking about the weekend workout, the big heavy weights, stuff I did during the week, and then updates, of course, leading into the months. We are booked. We have events every single month until April. We're not even into the new year yet, and we are fucking booked. That's awesome.
Yeah, we love it. Keep it coming.
Yeah. So, hey, guys, enjoy the rest of your Sunday night and have a good week. Have a good, strong week. Hit the weights really hard for me, and then we will see you next week, 8 p.m. All right?
Awesome. So be kind, lift heavy, and give back.
There you go. Have a good night.